This week in Retrospect, we take it back to June of 1995, where a ceremony of Indigenous tradition tours through Saskatchewan.
This morning's ceremony was one of 72 stops at Native communities throughout Saskatchewan, and when they reach the U.S. border the first part of July, they'll have stopped off at roughly 170 communities in the province. Denny Morrison is a landskeeper and says this morning's ceremony represents a lot of Native tradition.
Lands represents community involvement, gives them back your dignity and pride, hold it up with, gives you honor, let's say, and lots of it has to do with respecting each other, respecting everything we say, do, or even think.
Onion Lake is a long way from Blaine, Minnesota, the site of this year's Indigenous Games. 3 years ago in Prince Albert, only 3 local athletes qualified to participate. It's a different story this time around. Growing interest has seen that number swell to 35.
There's about 35 from here, this district, which is really good because the other years they have only had 3 and it jumped to 30. It is really good. And I think we're taking about 1,000 athletes across right to Blaine, Minnesota.
It means a lot, actually. It means to do, keeps me in school, motivates me to be a role model for everybody else. And I think it's good for people here to see some of their people, their children, and not going to the games.
I went there and there was like 50 people trying for soccer, and so I was eligible to make it on the team Saskatchewan, and it's quite an honor to go there and representing Onion Lake.
And in 1999, we look at safety tips from local skateboarders who are taking advantage of the nice weather and doing extreme sports in a safe way.
Kirk Matthews is a regular roller at the skateboard park in Bud Miller, but the grade 4 student always picks up the helmet before grabbing the board. It's already saved him a headache.
About 10 times, coming out for the ramps, I've lost my balance. I think you should wear a helmet, because, you might get seriously injured, brain damage or something.
But not everyone seems to be grabbing the gear.
I don't really think they usually wear them because they try to be a bit cool like other kids, and they don't really wear them at all.
Want to avoid injury? It's just simple. Wear the right gear.
Dean Hoff with the Lloydminster Health District says over 30,000 skateboard and rollerblade injuries fill Alberta hospitals every year. Most of them are due to kids not sporting a helmet.
What you want to look for is make sure they're CSA approved, and also you want to make sure that there's no cracks anywhere on this helmet. They're only made to use in one accident. If you hit this hard, they're meant to be thrown away. Go buy yourself a new one because it's going to save your head in the long run. Other things that you need to wear is proper size gear. That's where a lot of people get in trouble. They're either not wearing the gear, or they're wearing their big brother's gear or their mom or dad's gear, and it's really not meant for them. You want to prevent an injury, wear the stuff that fits you properly.
Sales have really taken off. We've been going through helmets like crazy. Helmets.
Garth Syard, co-manager for High Gear in Lloydminster, says since the opening of the skateboard park, sales of helmets have soared. As of Wednesday, they had none left in stock. He says when kids make a purchase, they look for style and safety.
They're looking for the styles that they see in the magazines and they see in the videos. And they're also, they want to live to skate another day kind of a thing. So if you're laid up with a broken ankle in the hospital, it kind of ruins the rest of your summer.
Hoff hopes kids enjoy the new facility, but do so in a responsible fashion.
Start on the smaller equipment, work your way up to the bigger equipment, and take your time doing it. You don't see the guys on the X Games without their equipment, and you shouldn't be without it either.
That's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consort.